In a world where attention is scattered, where conversations are half heard and emotions are rushed, true presence feels rare, and rarity creates value. When you give a woman your full, steady attention without trying to impress her, fix her, or win her over, something shifts in her psychology. She feels seen. Female psychology is deeply connected to emotional safety. A woman is not only attracted to how you look or what you achieve, she is drawn to how she feels around you. Does she feel calm or anxious, heard or dismissed, valued or compared? The man who understands this does not compete for attention. He creates security. Most men try to melt a woman with grand gestures, expensive dates, over-the-top compliments, constant texting, but these often come from a place of trying to prove worth, and when energy feels forced, it creates pressure. Pressure rarely builds attraction. Presence is different. Presence is when you look into her eyes while she speaks and actually absorb what she says. Presence is when you respond thoughtfully instead of waiting for your turn to talk. Presence is when your body language is relaxed, your tone is steady, and your reactions are measured. This communicates strength, not loud strength, quiet strength. When a woman senses that you are emotionally grounded, her nervous system relaxes. She does not feel like she has to perform. She does not feel rushed. She feels safe enough to be authentic. And authenticity deepens connection faster than charm ever could. The reason almost nobody uses this gesture is because it requires internal stability. You cannot be fully present if you are anxious about impressing her. You cannot be grounded if you are seeking validation. You cannot offer calm if you are internally chaotic. True presence comes from self-control. It comes from knowing who you are, from not needing her approval to feel valuable. Ironically, when you stop chasing approval, you become more attractive. Another layer of this gesture is emotional restraint. When she shares something vulnerable, you do not immediately try to solve it. You listen, you acknowledge, you allow her emotions to exist without judgment. Many men think strength means fixing problems. Often, strength means holding space. Holding space is powerful. It says, I can handle your emotions without being overwhelmed. I can stay steady while you express yourself. That steadiness melts defenses. There is also a subtle masculine energy in slowing down, speaking clearly, moving deliberately, not rushing to fill silence. Silence, when confident, creates depth. When you are comfortable with pauses, it signals that you are not afraid of stillness, and stillness feels secure. Women are highly intuitive. They pick up on emotional states quickly. If you are tense, they feel it. If you are insecure, they sense it. But if you are centered, calm, and attentive, that energy becomes magnetic. This gesture is not about being passive. It is about leading with composure. You guide the interaction by staying grounded. You maintain eye contact. You listen fully. You respond intentionally. You make her feel like, in that moment, she matters. And here is the truth. When a woman feels deeply understood, she opens up. When she opens up, connection strengthens. When connection strengthens, attraction grows naturally. You do not need complex strategies. You need emotional mastery. Be the man who is not distracted by his phone while she speaks. Be the man who does not interrupt. Be the man whose tone remains calm even when the conversation becomes emotional. Be the man who does not rush intimacy, but allows it to build through trust. That is rare, and rarity is powerful. The manly gesture that melts any woman is not about what you give her physically. It is about what you give her emotionally. Undivided attention, steady energy, genuine listening, calm confidence. Almost nobody uses it because it requires discipline. It requires self-awareness. It requires letting go of the need to impress. But when you master it, you will notice something remarkable. Women will feel drawn to you without fully understanding why. They will describe you as different, safe, strong, easy to talk to. That is not an accident. It is the power of presence. When you become emotionally grounded, you stop trying to create attraction. You embody it. And when you embody calm, respectful, confident presence, you become the kind of man whose energy alone can melt resistance and invite genuine connection. Calm presence is one of the most underestimated forces in attraction. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and constant stimulation, genuine, undivided attention feels rare. When a man is fully present, emotionally steady, and focused in the moment, it creates a powerful psychological impact. A woman does not just hear his words, she feels his stability. Female psychology is deeply connected to emotional awareness. Women are highly perceptive to shifts in tone, body language, and subtle energy. If a man is restless, distracted, or trying too hard to impress, that tension is sensed immediately. But when he is grounded, relaxed, and attentive, her nervous system naturally begins to relax as well. Calm energy communicates safety without needing to say it directly. True presence means listening without interrupting, maintaining composed body language, and responding with intention rather than impulse. It means being comfortable with silence instead of rushing to fill it. When a man can sit in stillness without anxiety, it signals confidence. That confidence feels secure. Emotional safety is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. When a woman feels seen and heard without judgment or pressure, she opens up more easily. She shares more honestly. She feels valued not for performance, but for authenticity. Calm presence is not passive. It is controlled strength. It reflects self-awareness and discipline. When a man masters his attention and energy, he becomes rare in a distracted world. And rarity, combined with emotional steadiness, creates a quiet magnetism that naturally draws connection closer. Emotional stability is one of the most powerful forms of modern masculine strength, yet it is often overlooked. Many men equate strength with dominance, assertiveness, or the ability to control a situation. While these traits may have surface appeal, they do not create lasting attraction. True strength lies in the ability to remain calm, composed, and grounded even when emotions run high or uncertainty arises. This type of stability communicates security, reliability, and confidence, qualities that women are instinctively drawn to. When a man demonstrates emotional balance, he shows that he can handle connection without being overwhelmed or reactive. He does not need constant validation or reassurance to feel worthy. He does not panic when a moment feels vulnerable or uncertain. Instead, he maintains steady energy, which allows those around him, especially women, to feel safe, understood, and valued. This calmness signals that he is capable of handling emotional depth, which encourages openness and trust. Emotional stability also affects how a man navigates challenges in interactions. He can listen without immediately reacting, respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively, and approach complex situations with composure. This creates an environment where meaningful connection can grow naturally. Women intuitively sense whether a man is internally balanced or insecure, and this perception influences their attraction far more than superficial charm or outward displays of confidence. Furthermore, emotional stability builds respect. It demonstrates self-mastery and control over one's impulses, which are highly attractive traits. A man who can remain centered in the face of uncertainty, emotional intensity, or vulnerability inspires confidence and admiration. This type of strength is quiet yet magnetic. It does not demand attention, but naturally draws it. By cultivating emotional stability, a man not only enhances his own life, but also becomes the kind of presence that women instinctively gravitate toward and trust. Listening is one of the most powerful gestures a man can offer, yet it is often undervalued in the art of attraction. True listening goes far beyond hearing words. It is about fully engaging with the other person's emotions, thoughts, and energy. When a man listens intentionally, without distraction or judgment, he communicates that she matters, that her feelings are valid, and that her presence is appreciated. This transforms ordinary conversation into a deep emotional exchange. Intentional listening requires focus and patience. It means giving her your undivided attention, maintaining eye contact, and absorbing not just what she says, but how she says it. Subtle cues, tone, pauses, and body language carry as much meaning as words themselves. By noticing these details, a man can respond in a way that resonates emotionally rather than reacting out of habit or impulse. This creates a sense of being understood that is incredibly rare and deeply attractive. Holding space is another key aspect of effective listening. It means allowing her to express herself fully without immediately trying to fix, advise, or redirect the conversation. Many men feel the need to solve problems or offer solutions the moment vulnerability arises, but the most compelling gesture is often restraint. Simply being present, acknowledging her emotions, and validating her perspective communicates strength and emotional maturity. Responding thoughtfully instead of impulsively builds trust and connection. It signals that you are reliable, grounded, and capable of handling emotional depth without being overwhelmed. Over time, this transforms simple interactions into moments of meaningful connection, and trust naturally deepens. Ultimately, listening as a transformational gesture is about creating emotional resonance. It shows that attraction is not built through superficial charm or performance, but through attentiveness, care, and genuine engagement. When a man masters the art of listening, he becomes magnetic because he meets a woman on a level of emotional authenticity few men can. In conclusion, the most powerful forms of attraction are often quiet and subtle, rooted in emotional presence, stability, and genuine attentiveness. Calm, undivided presence allows a woman to feel safe and valued, creating the foundation for trust and connection. Emotional stability demonstrates strength without aggression, signaling that you can handle vulnerability with confidence and composure. Intentional listening transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful exchanges, showing that you respect and understand her on a deeper level. Together, these qualities create a magnetic energy that cannot be forced or fabricated. They allow hidden feelings to surface naturally, foster authentic connection, and build attraction that lasts. When you cultivate presence, emotional balance, and thoughtful attentiveness, you become the kind of man whose energy alone inspires trust, comfort, and desire. True impact comes not from grand gestures or flashy moves, but from mastering the subtle, consistent ways you show up emotionally, mentally, and energetically.